Hey, hey, hey. Happy Wednesday. Come on in, pull up a chair. The Daily Dope is in the air. Howdy, 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 gang. Yes, I'm Jeff McAleer, back once again as your host here at The Daily Dope, presented by thegaminggang.com, which I happen to be the Grand Poobah. Yes, I am the founder as well as editor-in-chief of thegaminggang.com. So it's deja vu all over again. Tonight is Wednesday, August 19th, 2020. This is episode 530 of The Daily Dope, take 2. Yes, got about 15 minutes into the first stream, and then suddenly internet dropped. So not only did the internet drop, it also was not showing my Wi-Fi. So I was like, oh, great, thanks a lot. It's a Windows thing. I'll tell you right now, I know it is a Windows thing because my Wi-Fi, it's not really a dongle that I use, but it worked fine up until the last Windows update. Now, every time I turn on the computer, I have to mess around with it so that it starts and it connects me to the internet. Yeah, it's a Windows thing. Anyway, do want to mention, if you like this video, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't. If you do subscribe, be sure to ring that notification bell because it will not only let you know when the Daily Dope streams live Monday through Thursday nights right here on YouTube. It'll also tell you when I upload other videos, such as my upcoming review of Tiny Epic Tactics. Yes, should have this review up this weekend. And of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Okay, because this is a live stream, which is sometimes not good, but I guess, do what you got to do. Chat is available. So I got to point out, I do my best to pay attention to chat. Sometimes things fly under my radar. But if you want to say howdy, or maybe you get a question, comment, fire away. Chat is not on screen. It's one of the ways that I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay. But as I mentioned, I do my best to pay attention. So feel free to say howdy. All right. Anyway, as I said, yeah, things started off strange. We got the news cooking. We were moving along, and we had a few people in chat too. So, speaking of chat, a Gray Day as well as Kabuki Kid are in chat right now. Let's see if the other folks who are watching live migrate on over. Because now, of course, with a new stream, that means we've got a completely different URL for it. And yeah, it is what it is, right? Let me fix something here real quick. All right. So, without further ado, let's jump on into the news because I've got a good amount of news tonight. Actually, before I do that, when I originally started the stream, I was going to mention this after the news. I think I'll mention it before I jump into the news. Do want to send my condolences out to Alexander from Players Aid because his father passed away. I saw it was announced on Twitter. He had shared that news. I think it might have been earlier today or late last night, something like that. Knock on wood, both my parents are still around, but what a terrible thing. What a horrible thing to happen. So did want to send out my sincerest condolences to Alexander and his family. And, hope they hang in there. it's tough. I'm sure it is. Like I said, I'm lucky. So far, my parents are still around, but I can only imagine it's pretty difficult. All right, let's jump on into the news because arriving next month from WizKids is the Sidereal Confluence Remastered Edition. I've got the dope. Sidereal Confluence is a singularly unique trading and negotiation game for 4 to 9 players. Over the course of the game, each race must trade and negotiate with the rest to acquire the resource cubes necessary to fund their economy and allow it to produce goods for the next turn. Scheming, dealing, and mutually beneficial agreements are key to success. While technically a competitive game, Sidereal Confluence has a uniquely cooperative feel during the trading phase, as no race has the ability to thrive on its own. Trade well, and you'll develop technologies and colonize planets to form a civilization that is the envy of the galaxy. Each player chooses one of the 9 unique and asymmetrical alien races that have come together to form a trade federation in their quadrant. Each race has its own deck of cards representing all the existing and future technologies it might research. Some races also have other cards related to unique features of their culture. These cards represent portions of the culture's economy and require spending some number of cubes to use, resulting in an output of more cubes, ships, and possibly victory points. Since each culture's outputs rarely match their inputs, players need to trade goods with one another to run their converters to create the resources they truly need to run their society most efficiently and have an effective economy. Almost everything is negotiable, including colonies, ships, and all kinds of resources. The ultimate goal is victory points, which are acquired by researching technologies, using your economy to convert resources to goods, and converting your leftover goods into points at the end of the game. This game is almost all simultaneous play. Sidereal Confluence Remastered Edition features the same gameplay as the first edition from 2017, but features an updated card layout, a teaching guide, and an improved rulebook for easy setup and learning with more visual examples and clear key terms. The game is for 4 to 9 players, ages 14 and up, plays in 2 to 3 hours, and will carry an MSRP of $69.99 when it arrives in September. So, I've always heard good things about this game. I have never played it. I do understand that you need to have a huge table to play this on. You need a lot of room. So it's like, holy jamoles. But I have heard that this is a very interesting game. At least, so if I remember right, I think Tom over at the Dice Tower really liked this. So there's that. So Grade A says that this was released before as it's remastered. Yes, this came out in 2017. So the 20 years WizKids logo, a Grade A, is WizKids is celebrating their 20th anniversary this year. So yeah, so this came out originally in 2017. And like I said, I've heard good things about it from reviewers, but I don't think like the general population enjoyed it as much as reviewers did. So I don't know. Like I said, I have not played this. The only reason why I even know how to pronounce this correctly, Sidereal, is because back in 2017, which was the last time I interviewed anybody from WizKids, because that's when we learned that they never send out review copies to people like me. It's only to like the Dice Towers and the Man versus Meeples and stuff like that. But this was just coming out, and we talked about this game. And this was right when Zev joined WizKids, because all of a sudden they started releasing, a bunch of board games left and right. So Kabuki Kid says this game takes a lot of players, so that can also be a barrier. Yeah, because it's 4 to 9. So, and usually with most games, you want to try to aim higher than like the lowest number. So all depends. I don't know. Like I said, this is supposed to take up a lot of space on the table too. All right, so it is Wednesday. Let's talk about a war game, because now available from GMT Games is Beneath the Med. Here's the dope. I do want to apologize. I only have one image for this because there are really no images over on GMT that are not just prototype things. And then there were a few photos that have been shared on Board Game Geek of the components, but they are not from the company. They're from a private individual. So I don't use those images. Anyway, let's talk about the game. Beneath the Med is a solitaire tactical level game placing you in command of an Italian submarine during World War II. This is the fourth game in the Hunters series and covers one of the largest fleets of submarines in the world at the time. You command one of many submarine models available starting in 1940 and look to successfully complete patrols until the armistice in September 1943. Not only is this a standalone game, but fans of the Hunters will enjoy having the capability to complete Italian careers in one of the many interesting classes of Italian submarine. While your mission is to destroy as much Allied shipping as many capital ships as possible, players will find it extremely challenging to survive until the armistice. Beneath the Med is purposely designed to deliver a brisk yet intensive gaming experience that forces many decisions upon you as you take command of the major Italian submarine classes. All the major classes are accounted for with every level of detail, including period of service, armaments, crew makeup, damage capacity, and more. Fans of the Hunters will enjoy the same nail-biting game system, but will be challenged by the thick Allied air cover and the problematic fire control systems of the Italian boats. 10 Italian submarine classes are profiled and available for you to choose from. Patrol zones reflect the period during the war at sea and will shift as the war progresses. All stages of the U-boat campaign are represented. Difficult missions include mine laying, commando delivery, and the extremely dangerous harbor penetration missions. Beneath the Med is a solitaire game. It's for ages 14 and up. That's what I believe it is, for 14 and up. Plays in 2 to 3 hours and does carry an MSRP of $52. So yes, this is about the point where the stream dropped off before, because I had mentioned, yes, sorry, I only have this one image, but I did receive Beneath the Med in today's mail. So, and because there is no show tomorrow, because we're going to be celebrating my nephew Cameron's 19th birthday, I will do my best to get an unboxing video of this out there. So very cool, very cool. Give you a little look at the back. See, they're not really, whoops, let's get rid of some, too much glare. Get rid of some of that glare. So, yeah, they're showing one of the submarines. So, also what arrived today is the Battle of Rhode Island, which is the latest release. I talked about this yesterday. Pretty strange. I talked about this yesterday, and then it shows up today. I had no idea this was on its way. But this is the ninth edition, in the series, Battles of the American Revolution. And it covers the Battle of Rhode Island. And it also contains a bonus battle, a hypothetical Battle of Newport. So, and it's strange. I started to mention this, and this was right about when the stream just dropped. But for some strange reason, GMT is referring to this as with 3 different titles. One is just Rhode Island. The other is Battle of Rhode Island. And then the third is Battles of Rhode Island and Newport, which I thought is kind of bizarre because the Battle of Newport is hypothetical. There wasn't a Battle of Newport. So there you go. All right. So I do see Mel Winius from York has rejoined us. I would take a guess we're probably not going to see Dan from No Enemies here pop back in, because he usually gets till about half after the hour, and then it's like time to go. His girlfriend / wife, I'm not sure which it is, it's kind of like, all right, enough of that, knucklehead, let's go. It's time for us to watch TV, watch movies, things like that. So, a great A is talking about that Sidriel is not coming up. Sidriel Confluence, got to be official here, isn't coming up on BGG. It's there. I'll tell you right now, it is there because I pulled the box image. That's where I got it from, is over on BGG. So, Grade A mentions, I'm hoping there are some differences from other than location for Beneath the Med. Wasn't it Melwinius, I thought, had commented saying that he was kind of interested in maybe picking this up for a friend. I liked the Hunters. I've reviewed, I want to say 2 of the 4 games. One of them I didn't. One of them I did not receive, so I did not review it. I like the Hunters, but I can see where people are coming from when they say they don't like this series because it is a lot of charts. If you are a fan of games like B-17, Queen of the Skies, Patton's Best, games that have a lot of charts that are kind of determining the action, I guess we'll say. If you like those kind of games where you're maybe not in control of every small decision that's going on, you will dig it. If you're somebody who wants to make sure that, hey, you know what? I'm the person who gets to pull the strings on everything. Probably not going to dig the randomness of this game. There we go. So a grade A, well, right there. So a grade A says, I like it, but I'm bored with the same random roll process. Bingo. There you go. So like I said, some people will dig it. Some people won't. I think, now this is just me, I think people who tend to have more of an imagination, I know this sounds bad to say this, people who probably have played role-playing games and play war games probably enjoy this game more than people who have never played role-playing games and only play war games. Just a vibe I've got. But like I said, I've enjoyed this series. So I am looking forward to getting this. I will definitely, like I said, I'm going to do my best to have an unboxing video either tomorrow. At worst, it'll be Friday. And yes, I will review this as well because it's solitaire. I don't have to worry about somebody else showing up to be able to do a review. So, Grade A says you do 100 plus missions in Atlantic and Pacific. You're going to ask, what's new for another edition? The Mediterranean, man. Italian U-boats. Isn't it is it Marina Regina? Oh, no. It's Marina Regia was the name. Isn't that the Italian name for their Navy? I believe so. I might be wrong. I don't know. Moving right along, let's jump on into a Kickstarter. Yes, that's right. I've got some Kickstarter news. People are going to be wondering what in the world is going on. 2 days in a row, Jeff's talking about Green Ronin Publishing. I know, because I almost never talk about Green Ronin Publishing. But they have launched a Kickstarter to bring some custom dice to their role-playing game that's based on The Expanse. Here's the dope. Do you like The Expanse novels by James S.A. Corey? Which is actually 2 people. I don't know if everybody knows that. 2 people. Do you like dice? Then you've docked at the right station. Last year, Green Ronin published The Expanse RPG, and this Kickstarter is to fund dice sets for the game. Sure, you can play The Expanse with any old 6-sided dice, but now you can declare your allegiance to Earth, Mars, or the Belt with these Expanse dice. If the campaign does well, we'll offer exclusive proto-molecule dice as well. We've once again partnered with Q Workshop, who previously produced our Dragon Age and Blue Rose dice sets. They make beautiful dice, and we know their work will be stellar. As you can see, the dice have already been designed. Earth, Mars, and the Belt each have their own set. We just need to fund the production and determine how many of each set to make. This is where you come in. We don't know if we should produce an equal number of each set or not. If OPA ranks are strong, we'll need more Belter dice. If a lot of you believe in the dream of the Red Planet, we'll need more Martian dice. What about Those of us who live on Earth. Huh? You're forgetting us. Anyway, there is a short video. It's about 30 plus seconds. It's not real long, but you'll get a better look at the dice. So let's jump on in and take a peek. See, pretty exciting. The Kickstarter project is fully funded, and you can reserve a set of your choice for a $15 pledge through September 15th. Estimated delivery on these dice sets is next January. So not a bad turnaround. I mean, they are simply dice, but... And Q Workshop does nice dice. I remember they did the dice for the starter set for Call of Cthulhu, and they've done dice sets for the Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay starter set. So yeah, those are pretty cool. And a Grade A mentions, yes, Green Ronin is also celebrating their 20th anniversary. Kind of funny because the Gaming Gang is less than 2 weeks away from our 10th anniversary, so that's pretty wild. But a Grade A also mentions that Green Ronin does the new neutral RPG Sword Chronicle, which is the system that they used for A Song of Fire and Ice. Yes, I talked about that yesterday. That was on yesterday's show. I talked about that. So Grade A says Q Workshop is the go-to for branding dice. All right, let's stick with some role-playing game news because there's another bundle of holding. I talked about one yesterday. I also talked about Goodman Games yesterday, another company I don't share a lot of news about. So once again, here's another company we're going back to back. In fact, two bundle of holding as well as Goodman Games. Pretty amazing. It's usually not this way as far as Green Ronin and Goodman Games. But the latest bundle of holding is out. It is packed with role-playing game goodness. I've got the dope on 5th edition fantasy adventurer. This Goodman 5th edition fantasy bundle brings you the complete 5th edition fantasy lineup of tabletop role-playing game adventures from Goodman Games. Written for character levels from 1 to 12 and playable in one or a few sessions, these 17 standalone modules fit easily into any ongoing campaign using the world's most popular role-playing game. Each scenario includes new races, backgrounds, monsters, spells, and magical items. For just $12.95, you'll get all 8 adventures in the low-level collection as DRM-free PDFs, including 3 introductory modules for first-level parties, Fae Sister's Fate, The Forgotten Hive, and Beneath the Keep, 3 for third level, Glitter Doom, The Cave of the Unknown, and The Pillars of Pelagia, and 2 fourth-level adventures, Raiders of the Lost Oasis, dun, 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 and Mystery Under the Monastery. And if you pay more than the threshold price of $26.03, or at least that's what the threshold price was when I got the news, you'll level up and also get the entire high-level collection with 9 more modules worth an additional $63, including 3 for 5th-level parties, Warlock, The Castle in the Sky, and Secrets of Mistcutter Isle, a gauntlet of increasingly formidable challenges for 7th through 12th level groups, Eye of the Leviathan, The Archmage's Lost Hideaway, The Fallen Temple, The Drowning Caverns of the Fish God, and Into the Dragon's Maw, and a collection of smaller encounters for many levels, fantastic encounters. This offer also includes a discount code GOOD through October 31st for 20% off any purchase at the Goodman Games online store. Score these savings through September 5th, and 10% of your payment after payment gateway fees for this offer will be donated to the charity designated by Goodman Games, the San Francisco Marin Food Bank. Nice. Cool. Very cool. Hey, Flaming Heron has popped in. So good to see you, Flaming Heron. We haven't seen you in a while. I mean, not that long, just a few shows. But yeah, so this is loads and loads of the 5th edition fantasy. I got to be very honest. Goodman Games to me is known for their Dungeon Crawl Classics and their Mutant Crawl Classics. That to me, that's what I always think of when I think of Goodman Games. Of course, they have done their, in fact, we just talked about it yesterday, their original adventures reincarnated. So we've got the latest up for pre-order as well, which is Castle Amber. But I do believe, is it, somebody out there is going to help me out with this. Is it Michael Curtis? Isn't that the author's name who does a lot of like the really, really well-received Dungeon Crawl Classic adventures? Because I know he's the author of a few of these as well. For some reason, I want to say it's Michael Curtis. So Grade A says that they run DCC funnels about once a month. I think that is kind of what people really love that system for, is for, the funnels where it's just kind of a grinder, a meat grinder kind of adventure. So as Kabuki Kid mentions, Castle Amber was a fun adventure, the old one at least. Well, of course, we do know that with the original adventures reincarnated in the hardcover, I wish I'd get an opportunity to take a peek at those. But Goodman's another company that doesn't seem to, they don't seem to want to have like reviewers do reviews. So that's at least what I was told years ago when I approached them to maybe review some of their stuff. But I know for a fact that the hardcovers that they do for the original adventures reincarnated has the original module in it, and then they have like the 5th edition port, and then usually they expand on the original module as well. So yes, pretty cool. Anyway, gotta say, that is a pretty sweet deal for Bundle of Holding. So if you run any 5th edition D&D, might want to take a peek at this bundle, save some money, get some standalone adventures as well. Moving right along, a charitable PDF is out for Pathfinder. It is not from Paizo. It's not affiliated with Paizo, but I do want to mention this. It is out. It's on DriveThruRPG, and I've got the dope on the Pnoll. I think that's how this is pronounced. I know it's not Knoll, because that's a completely different creature. Eat trash with pride as you play a gross but lovable Pnoll. This product is a fully illustrated, playable ancestry for Pathfinder 2nd Edition, complete with heritages like the Trash Tooth Pnoll and ancestry feats like Garbage Fire and Play Dead. I'm surprised it's not called Dumpster Fire. All proceeds for this product go to Black Trans Advocacy Coalition Mission. Thank you for contributing to this great cause. While this product is compatible with Pathfinder 2nd Edition, it is not officially sanctioned content from Paizo, although it is written by, I want to say it's written by Jonathan Bonner, who does a bunch of the Pathfinder stuff for Paizo. Anyway, the 6-page PDF is available at DriveThruRPG for $3.99. I know usually I'd be going $3.99 for 6 pages. What? But it is. It's for charity, so I have no problem with that. So Kabuki Kid says, great drummer. I didn't say John Bonham. I said Bonner. think that's his name. So Grade A says, isn't it Whitley Stroh? Isn't Stroh's first name Whitley? Chris Doyle, Michael Curtis, and John Goodman it is John who owns the company, I think. Not the John Goodman people are thinking of, though, are the regulars for a long time, author-wise, for the Dungeon Crawl Classic Adventures. Harley Stroh, there we go. Thanks, Grade A. Yeah, I knew it was kind of an offbeat first name. All right, so my final news piece, now available in PDF from author Chris Fox, is the Megatech Chronicles RPG. Here's the dope. The gods are dead, but they are not gone. Their bodies remain, brimming with divine power and forgotten nebulas or darkened corners of the void. Most who seek to steal this power find death, but the few who succeed become gods themselves. Imagine a galaxy torn apart by a war between titanic gods. Starships battle dragons, all clawing their way toward the precious magic that lies within the bodies of dead gods, catalysts. You're an adventurer seeking them out to increase your own magic. Ever wanted to play a mage killer or a spell sniper? I don't know. I've never heard of those. So how do I know if I ever want to play them? How about a relic hunter or an eradicator? Wondered if an elder void worm can survive a nuke salvo? Want to steal magic from eldritch gods and watch your armor and weapons grow stronger as they drink the same magic? You're in the right place. Your purchase includes the complete rules, 2 full adventures in the main book, and a fully editable PDF character sheet. The 252-page PDF of the Megatech Chronicles is available from DriveThruRPG for $20. All right, so I believe the Megatech Chronicles are a series of novels that this game is based on. Can't tell you if they're any good. Could just tell you that this is new, and it is fairly popular right now over on DriveThruRPG. Yes, Chris Fox is their author. And he may be the author of the series of books as well. I don't know. Anyway, so there you have it. That is the news for today. Of course, whenever I talk about DriveThruRPG, please keep in mind the Gaming Gang and, of course, thus the Daily Dope are affiliated with the One Bookshelf sites. So if you are going to go visit, say, DriveThruRPG, please swing by thegaminggang.com first, click on one of our banners, and that way, if you do make a purchase, you get a little portion of that sale. And all those little portions really do add up and help keep the Gaming Gang website around. Much appreciated. There are a lot of people out there who do use our affiliate banner links, and it is super cool. Much appreciated. So Grade A says, says Chris Fox writes books about marketing, so I am out. Wait a second, man. Come on. What about people like me who are influencers? I hate that term. Get out of here. It's like, come on. Speaking of influencers, one of the funniest things I ran across, I want to say this was when we were covering San Diego Comic-Con last. Ah, man, no conventions this year. What a bummer. Anyway, I was reading an article, I think in they're like local kind of hipster paper. Everybody's got it. Chicago had the Reader. I used to read the Reader all the time. And it was about a guy who had a food truck, and the food truck served ice cream. And he would get all these people who would come up and be like, yeah, dude, I'm an influencer. So how about give me some free ice cream, man? And if it's good, I'll post some photos on Instagram. And so they put up a sign on the food truck that said, if you were an internet influencer, the price was double. I was like, nice. Influencers slap. Tell ya. Reviewer or critic, that's fine. I mean, critics have been around forever. It's not an influencer. I don't influence anybody. I'm lucky I can influence my cats to do what I need them to do, let alone anything else. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, we still got a few. Oh, good show. The critic says a great 8. We got a few minutes we can burn here. So, as I mentioned, no show tomorrow. I'm celebrating my nephew Cameron's 19th birthday. Hopefully, we'll get a little gaming in. I don't know. But I'm hoping maybe to check out Truffle Shuffle. So, I think because my mom's going to be there, I can probably convince my mom into checking this out. So that'll help as far as getting the review done of this. So also mentioned that Tiny Epic Tactics, that review is coming up very shortly. My review for Folk Magic of the Haven Isles will be up this weekend. Try to see if we can do a bit of a review about the first 5 issues of the Mitterzine. So if you're a fan of old school Renaissance role-playing games, definitely check that out. And I assume I can probably get my review of Dungeon Drop done as well. So got a lot of stuff cooking, a lot of stuff coming up on the horizon. As I mentioned already, I will do my damnedest to get at least the unboxing video for Beneath the Med out there tomorrow. One of the reasons why, and I say this all the time whenever I talk about GMT game releases, they don't do huge print runs. They really don't. Now, granted, the Hunters is done well. It's Consim Press. John Kranz over from Consim World. He's affiliated with that. So, nice. So, Tom D had joined us. I'm sorry I didn't mention that before. I don't know if we have had Tom show up before and join us in chat. I don't think so. I honestly do not think so. So anyway, other thing I wanted to point out that I am planning on trying to do something a little bit different for September 1st, because September 1st will mark. So Kabuki Kid says, Tom is a great drummer. Okay, cool, excellent. So Tom says he has not joined us in chat before, but he does follow the show. He's a subscriber. Well, thank you very much. Very cool. Anyway, I'm going to try to do something for September 1st. Try to make things a little bit different because September 1st will mark the 10th anniversary of the Gaming Gang. So maybe there'll be some prizes. I don't know. Maybe. We'll have to see. Probably going to be along the lines of RPG PDFs. That's probably going to be my guess. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. But anyway, we will try to do something a little bit different. Other thing is that I have had some folks ask me, how come I don't have a Patreon? And I had a Patreon. I didn't have a lot of people. I think at the height of the Patreon, which I only had the Patreon for maybe about a year, 8 months, somewhere around there. But I've had people ask, how come I don't have a Patreon? Or how come I don't set up the, what is like super chat or whatever for chat, where people could be like, oh, well, let me make a donation. And there are 2 reasons why I don't do either one of those. Mainly because, in my opinion, I think it's a ripoff. So I know Patreon's big with a lot of people who cover the hobby, cover the industry, or, do like RPG maps or cartography or adventures or what have you. And I'm not taking it away from them. It's just Patreon, to me, is just not great. Because for one, they kind of force their fees onto you. So as an example, let's say you're a patron and you're like, oh, well, I want to, it's basically a donation. I want to sign up for the $3 per month level. Say that, right? Well, out of that $3, the actual person whose Patreon that is will get like $1.10. So they get less than half of it because Patreon's got their fees and then there's tax and all this other nonsense. And I was like, no way. I don't want to. And in fact, I left Patreon when they tried to pawn off like more fees to the patrons. So there was, you'd have people who like, yeah, I'll donate $1 a month. Sure, why not? Well, that dollar was going to end up turning into like $1.75 because the fee was being tacked onto the patron, and the person whose Patreon it was still only going to get like 50 cents out of that $1.75. I was like, forget that. Same thing with the super chat or whatever on YouTube. Same thing. They take like 50%. So why would I do something like that? It's like, no, it's ridiculous. So, but what I have considered doing, I don't know, I'm just bouncing it around, is maybe doing a PayPal me sort of thing. You want to buy me a soda, a cup of coffee, something like that? I might start sharing a link for that. Yeah. Once again, like I've said before, I am not one of these people who comes out with my hand go like, gimme, 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 right? This is still, I know, people are like, big outlet, what are you talking about? But the Gaming Gang still is one of the most popular websites for tabletop gaming news. And we are like the only one who does not sit there doing a Kickstarter every year for you to finance us. We don't have a pledge drive to finance us. And we also don't turn around and charge publishers for video coverage of their games either. So something to keep in mind. I know people think I'm nuts, but it's just kind of how it is. So I'm floating that out there. Who knows? I'll probably poo-poo it by the time we get to it. Anyway, that is it for tonight's show. I won't be back again until Monday. Oh, the other thing I was going to mention, I am going to take the Monday before the 1st off. So there will not be a show on August 31st, just because I'm actually probably going to rearrange some of the stuff behind me. So that is why. So kind of like build up for the big 10th anniversary show. Anyway, so Kabuki Kid says, nah, we know you're nuts, Jeff. Yeah, I know. My approach is very different than a lot of other people's in this covering the hobby. I'm just me, right? I don't pretend to be anybody else. I am just myself. Anyway, so yes, I did want to mention the 31st, there will not be a show. But, of course, we will celebrate 10 years of the Gaming Gang on September 1st. Might even have surprise guests. I don't know. Anyway, that is it for tonight's show. As I like to remind you, if you like this video, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, ring that notification bell, because it will not only let you know when the Daily Dope streams live, Monday through Thursdays, most Monday through Thursdays, here on YouTube. It'll also let you know when I upload other videos, such as my upcoming review of Tiny Epic Tactics. So if you hung out watching live tonight, thank you very, very much. Of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, which you've just seen. So there's links to everything I've talked about, as well as reviews. There's movies, TV, comic books. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. gaminggang.com. And of course, do want to mention, if you watch after the fact, I appreciate that as well. Even if you happen to be sitting there watching on Memorex, definitely appreciate anybody taking time out to watch this goofball just pontificate in front of a camera all night. Anyway, everybody enjoy the rest of your week and the upcoming weekend. As I mentioned, I will be back on Monday, so enjoy the rest of your Wednesday night / Thursday morning. And of course, as I've been closing out each video during this pandemic, please be smart and stay safe. Oh, you're still here. Well, if that's the case, by all means, subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel by clicking right here. And of course, if you want to catch up on past episodes of The Daily Dope, check out this playlist. And if you'd like to see what YouTube's recommending you take a peek at from the channel, just give a click right over here. Of course, I'm Jeff McAleer, and once again, thank you very much for watching.